championship leader or the winner of the sprint race earlier on. Here's the world champion, Lando Norris, heading out there, going through this procedure that we were talking about earlier on, of running a used tyre just to get through, having run it in the top 10 shootout yesterday, peeling to the inside. It's one of the main change they made to this circuit when it came back to Formula One's calendar was the banked 14th and final turn to try and promote overtaking, and Norris goes top with a 1:13.0. Then Hamilton, Lawson, Verstappen, Leclerc, Yuki Tsunoda on another outlap, and this time Arvid Lindblad is going to join him at exactly the same time and try and put something on the board that carries them through. They have been scrapping along with Gasly, and so far this weekend Gabriel Bortoleto for the best of the rest places outside the top 8.
Astrid running it a little wider coming out of the final turn, almost getting towards the white line as he heads to the top of the times. So we can see the Mercedes Antonelli also running a little further out wide then. So different options at this stage. Antonelli peeling straight away off the racing line.
For the best of the rest places outside the top 8.
Astrid running it a little wider coming out of the final turn, almost getting towards the white line as he heads to the top of the times. So we can see the Mercedes Antonelli also running a little further out wide then. So different options at this stage. Antonelli peeling straight away off the racing line.
Moves it down for the 11-12 chicane, and this is where you start to really set yourself up, try and build up the speed, build up the momentum for Oscar Piastri, who took pole here last year, looking to do the double and get himself all the way to the best spot in the house. His first lap time on the board sees him get there in Q1 and finds 2/10 over his teammates, a 1:12.8.
Here comes Antonelli, it's his turn to put in the time. Only good enough for P3 at the moment, but maybe he's learned his lesson from yesterday in that you need a banker lap first.
Yeah, wasn't able to get that in, caught out by a bit of wind as his teammate slots into second, splits the two McLarens. Still waiting for lap times for the likes of Bortoleto in the Audi and the two Alpines, Gasly and Colapinto. So too for the man on our screens now, Esteban Ocon in the Haas. Ollie Behrman is back out on track in the other Haas, having aborted his first flying lap, and Nico Hülkenberg too. Had some issues suspected to be related to power in the sprint race earlier on. Came into the pit, managed to get back out again, hoping for a cleaner run this afternoon. As Ocon now heads to the final two corners.
Yeah, Ocon had a pretty decent run yesterday. Was ahead of Ollie Behrman in the sprint qualifying. Can't really bottom out through that final banked corner. Lots of smoke coming out the back of that Ferrari-powered Haas. And here is Ocon's teammate Ollie Behrman in that candid corner of turn 12. Use a bit of curve on the outside, line yourself up for the penultimate corner. Use all the curve on the outside of that one as well, just to send you through this easy flat corner. And before you're into that final straight mode zone, pops it into P9 for now, just ahead of his teammate.
Yeah, Ollie Behrman, who's been ahead of his teammates over the last 8 qualifying sessions. Ocon, with his future perhaps a little clouded as a Formula One driver, trying to regain some form. Nico Hülkenberg in the Audi. He looks so strong, both Audis, from Friday onwards, and continuing that in these early stages, puts the Audi up into 5th. What about Charles Leclerc? We just caught a few moments ago. His teammate Lewis Hamilton looked like he might have had an off. Hopefully we can see a replay of that. But Leclerc, with the fastest final sector, puts his Ferrari up into 4th. There's the sound of Yuki Tsunoda riding on board with the Racing Bulls man. Nice lap from the Japanese driver, up to 7th.
Yeah, ahead of Liam Lawson. In fact, as Verstappen now displaces Hülkenberg, gets up to P6. What can Lindblad do as he now heads towards the line? Just pops it in front of his teammate Yuki Tsunoda, P8.
Now we'll see the two Alpines come across the line now. Pierre Gasly, the first of them, puts himself up into 12th, managed to nick the final point earlier on in 8th for the sprint race. And interestingly, Colapinto goes quicker in 12th. Alpine have brought a big upgrade this weekend. It's only on Pierre Gasly's car, so expecting Gasly to find a little bit more time, perhaps on a second run. As Stroll improves his time and puts himself up to 15th. What about the Williams though of Carlos Sainz? Really struggled yesterday. Better today with a 1:13.9. Enough the board and puts well, actually, he's just put his teammate down into the elimination zone. Alonso up to 12.
So this will be interesting though, with Albon in the struggling Williams. That lap from Fernando Alonso, that's pretty feisty, isn't it? Just behind Liam Lawson. Let's see if Albon can go faster than the Aston Martin of Alonso, who obviously had his problems yesterday. Here he comes up to the line now. No, he can't quite do it. He splits the two Alpine and is ahead of his teammate Carlos Sainz. But that's a good lap from Alonso here.
Really good lap. Upgraded aero. Adrian Newey design from Budapest. The second step being brought here along with the Honda power unit. Time deleted for Lance Stroll. Track limits exceeded down at turn 13, so he loses out his time. He falls down to 21st. This man, Gabriel Bortoleto, is the only driver yet to have a competitive lap time on the board, but he's a corner away from placing his Audi on the leaderboard. His teammates up in 7th. Can't join him. Misses out for now by just 7,000ths of a second as the Brazilian, the man who's actually managed and mentored by Fernando Alonso, who's safely up in 12th. Bortoleto right on the fringes, but on the wrong side in 17th.
This could be that moment, Harry, from Hamilton earlier on. Always a huge lock-up down into turn 1 on the grass, through the gravel, and he's going to pick up that escape road on the exit, but a huge lock-up. We see that so often with this generation of Formula 1 car drivers. As they come off of their straight mode, it changes the balance of the car so much under the braking zone, and it just easily locks up the inside front wheel, or even both of them sometimes. So that's a definite flat-spotted set of soft Pirelli tyres.
Yeah, lap time at the moment only good enough for 10th spot. His teammate up in 4th. Hamilton will be wanting to go better and can go better than that.
And as we saw yesterday from Antonelli, even quite what first looks like a harmless trip through the gravel trap can do pretty significant damage to these very intricate floors of these cars, and brand new floors, in fact, on the Ferrari. They didn't run it in FP1, as we heard from Naomi at the top of the show there, and for the reason of they didn't want to run it in the wet conditions because they didn't want to damage it, so it means that they must only have 2 of them, one for each car.
And it means that they clearly back it. They obviously have full faith in it delivering straight away in a competitive session. Ferrari right now 4th and 10th, but we'll have another go at it in these final 4 minutes.
So we look at down at Oscar Piastri from the helicam. Disappointing lap, wasn't it, for Bortoleto? Obviously we didn't see all of it in its entirety, but he was good enough for P9 yesterday in sprint quali, so yeah, he knows there's more to come from that one.
Getting the split there between Lindblad and Tsunoda, fairly even at the moment. Harvey Lindblad up in 8th, even Tsunoda just behind him in 9th as we wait for the track to get busy again. Let's head down to the pit wall. Bernie.
Yeah, just a quick one is that looking at the runs between run 1 and run 2, there seems to be around 7/10 to a second of track improvement. That'll reduce into this 3rd run, but I would say anything up to 5/10 could be possible for an improvement in this 3rd run. So when you look at the time sheet, you're looking up to around 9/10, still very much a risk in this session.
I've got 2 questions for you, Bernie, if you're still there. You might not have the answer right now, but it's regarding that lap of Bortoleto. Were there any mistakes? If not, then what's his tyre age like? Was he on old tyres? He's about to put new ones on? I don't know, but that information I think would be pretty valuable for any Audi fans out there.
Yeah, so answer the first question is that Bortoleto, that was a new set he put on. He did a warm-up and then a flying lap. But when I look through the lap time, there's no obvious mistakes during it, I would say. Maybe a little bit too much speed carried through turn 8. But otherwise, I'm comparing it to Alonso actually. Doesn't look like a serious mistake of one corner, just a little bit to find across the lap, I would say.
Okay, thanks, Bernie. Yeah, but it's a huge gap right now. Bortoleto down at 17th. Hulkenberg, his teammate, up in 7th. So there is more to get out of that Audi. And in the bitter midfield battle, every point matters. The points are handed out on Sunday, but as we saw earlier, so tricky in the sprint race to overtake. Qualifying right now, crucial for your result on Sunday.
They look like old tyres, in fact, for Kimi Antonelli as he pulled out of the Mercedes garage. And you would expect that he would be safely through, but with that huge track evolution that Bernie mentioned, you have to say that nobody's safe bit of a gamble not to just. It's the easy thing, isn't it, to do, just to put on a brand new set of tyres, but obviously you want to save them for the second and third knockout rounds as Hulkenberg round the outside of the slower moving Ferrari, fastest middle sector of everyone, stays P6 for now.
Yeah, had to negotiate a bit of traffic with Hulkenberg, but does improve in the closing stages now. Those who find themselves in the elimination zone needing to go better. Bortoleto, Behrman, Ocon, Bottas, Perez and Stroll. There's your projected knockout time, a 1:13.4. That would suggest, as you can see, everyone from Hamilton down needs to go again. Lando Norris is out on track. He's up in third. Lance Stroll and those down there between Colapinto and Albon all vying to improve their laps as well. Norris finds the fastest middle sector.
Yeah, so he steals that away from Hulkenberg. We've seen obviously Norris's speed around this circuit. It's a track he enjoys. The car has the speed in qualifying, but they've clearly how Lawson said got no grip on his tyre, absolutely no grip. He said a similar thing yesterday on newer tyres, but Norris good enough for P2 for now. But McLaren had the speed. It was inevitable they would have the speed over one lap, but in the sprint race it proved that maybe a bit too harsh on their tyres, and therefore you might have to find a bit more of a compromise in your setup.
Seeing huge improvements in these closing stages. Lindblad up to fifth. Hamilton with a great tow as well from George Russell across the line. Gets his Ferrari up into second. Colapinto up to 11th. Ocon up to 14th. If Liam Lawson's struggling out there, he might be able to get one lap in the can. Nice lap from Yuki Tsunoda up in 7th and right there with his teammate Arvid Lindblad. Behrman's going to be out of Q1. He cannot progress. 18th for now. What about Alex Albon? Just about through, but is he safe? Fernando Alonso is right on the edge. Better lap from Bortoleto in the Audi. He finds that speed and gets inside the top 10 and through into Q2. But what about Carlos Sainz? He's currently down in 20th. Fernando Alonso's not going to progress, though he's struggling out there at the moment, down in 17th. Sainz to the line, just pips into 17th, but he'll be out qualified by Alex Albon.
Yeah, he dropped that third and final sector, didn't he? Only yellow there, so not even a personal best for him. But you just have to say, look how close they are on times, Aaron. That's the best that the Williams has. Antonelli up into P5, just behind his teammate, but disappointment for Carlos Sainz not getting through. At the moment, Albon looks to be safe. We're out of time. Who else is on track?
Lawson still going out there, setting some personal bests. He should be safe. He's in 14th.
P17.
It was okay. No, car was good.
Going again, personal best in the middle sector. What can he extract at the end of Q1? He improves his time, doesn't improve his position, but he's safe for now.
But you look at the lap time difference between Verstappen, that's his reference, isn't it? Only a 10th away.
Yeah.
You'd have to take that. I mean, we saw big changes happening down at Red Bull, but P12 and 14, with all due respect, that's not their standard.
And for Carlos Sainz, out of Q1, only the second time Alex Albon has been able to out-qualify in a Grand Prix session along with Alonso, Stroll, Behrman, Bottas and Perez. They all fall by the wayside. Bernie.
Yeah, just a quick one on the Lawson-Verstappen comparison. Lawson ran a new tyre first, whereas Verstappen ran a used tyre.
Hang on, Bernie, team radio.
No, car was good.
I think that was Carlos basically saying, yeah, the car was good, we've done the best we can, and you see such a small separation between the two teammates, and unfortunately that is where they are. Back to you, Bernie, what were you saying about the tyre difference?
Yeah, so it's just said because Verstappen-Lawson. Verstappen ran one used set. Lawson went new for the first run and then re-ran that set again for the second run. So that explains why he's reporting no grip, because it's a used tyre then, and explains a bit of the delta between him, or the low delta between him and Verstappen, because he's done a second run, took some track improvement, but it is a used set.
Okay, thank you very much. Bernie Collins down on the pit wall for us for that. Right, that is Q1 done and dusted. Sainz, Alonso, Stroll, Behrman, Bottas and Perez all out.
Audi sponsors
Sorry, man. What the f am I doing there?
No worries, it's okay. We are through. How was the goal?
To Q2, but he had to have a couple of bites at the cherry. Did Gabriel Bortoleto, the back end of that Audi, all at sea.
Sorry, man. What the f am I doing there?
No worries, it's okay. We are through. How was the goal?
And that was the goal for Gabriel Bortoleto. He did make it through eventually, along with his Audi teammate Nico Hulkenberg. So too did the two Alpines. Pierre Gasly ending Q1 up in 9th, Franco Colapinto in 13th, and all weekend long we're being joined by the Alpine managing director Steve Nielsen. Afternoon, Steve. Job done for the first part. Both cars through.
Yeah, so far all on track, and yep, it's never very relaxing when you do a balance run to begin with because you're at the bottom of the timesheets. But once we got into the proper runs, it was all good.
Steve, Anthony here alongside Harry. So what was learned? Come on, tell us all the secrets. What was learned from that sprint race? What have you done to this car to turn it around for qualifying now?
I think we learned in the sprint race what we already knew in quali, which is that the new aero package is much better than the old one, which is good news, of course. Yeah, we made a few small changes, which meant we did a balance run with both cars at the beginning of quali, SQ1. Then we got into the real stuff, and luckily the cars produced good enough pace to go through, and now it gets difficult, Q2.
And Steve, for those who might be just joining us this weekend, you mentioned the upgrade package there. Can you just explain what it is? And it's only on Pierre Gasly's car, correct?
Yeah, it was always scheduled to be on something we brought in Monza. We've managed to get one set a race early. It's floor and bodywork. It's quite extensive. It's our biggest upgrade by far so far this year, and it's delivering well, so really good news.
Okay, best of luck for this next session, Steve. It's underway, so we'll let you get on and hopefully check back in with you to see how many Alpines get through into Q3.
Yes, but it's such a tight midfield, isn't it, Harry? And I think that's where the excitement comes. Obviously, we have the top four teams we always talk about with McLaren, Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull that we see on screen now. Liam Lawson just scraping through there by the skin of his teeth. Great stuff by him. But then you've got that midfield battle that Alpine are very much part of, and with these upgrades coming thick and fast, and so powerful every time we see a team bring their aerodynamic improvements in year one of these regulations. And so you can see why Alpine are pleased to see that it does on track what they've clearly seen in the wind tunnel.
Max Verstappen straight out onto the track, not waiting around. With under 14 minutes left, we'll eliminate the next slowest 6 drivers, everybody from 11th down to 16th. And again, actually just picking up on some, well, the crowd are loving that, are they? Up on their feet. And it will be the last Dutch Grand Prix for the foreseeable, so they're lapping up every single minute of their 4-time world champion on the eve of this weekend, confirming he will be staying at the team as well for another 4 years. And what a place to announce that as well.
It's great, isn't it, to see just to see the power that one single driver can have for a whole nation. The fact that we never used to race here, Max Verstappen comes along, they revamp the circuit, we get Formula 1 back here, private investment as well, no government money behind this race, and people saw that dream, they made it happen. The fans obviously love it. Even all the local residents, apparently. I was speaking to Jan Lammers earlier on, who is involved heavily with this project at Zandvoort. He said all of the locals, they love the fact the race is here. They all got behind it, and it has been a success story.
It's a huge party. Every time I come in here from Amsterdam and get the train in, it is absolutely rammed, but it is incredible the amount of people who flock here from all over the world to come and watch Grand Prix racing. So let's hope to go out in style. Let's head down to the pit wall. Bernie.
two drivers on a used set. So this first lap time for Verstappen looks like a warm-up lap, but when he gets going properly, it's a used set. Everyone else out there is on a new set of soft tyres.
Okay, thanks to that. Bernie down on pit wall for us throughout the session. First lap times then coming in again. This is all about getting yourself into the fight for the top 10. Kimi Antonelli setting the benchmark. That is immediately displaced by his teammate, a 1:11.959. And it just seems like George Russell, I know it's still very early on in this session, but having taken sprint pole yesterday and the sprint victory earlier on today, has come back refreshed and rejuvenated from the summer break.
Yeah, exactly. It's been good for quite a few drivers just to have that reset.
A 1:11.959.
Mathematically, yes, okay. I concede the fact that is a 12-0.
As Max Verstappen puts in a 1:12.6, maybe 1:12.7, depending on who you're talking to.
We're the ever optimists, us racing drivers.
Exactly. He slots into third though, but as Bernie was saying, going to go on those used softs initially. Alex Albon, I think performing well actually, considering the machinery he's got this weekend. Has already out-qualified his teammate Carlos Sainz in the sprint qualifying, done it again now in Grand Prix qualifying. How much higher he can actually get up the grid, that's going to be the taller order.
I was there myself as a driver many a time in my little Super Aguri back in the day, Harry, and you'd scrape through into the second round of qualifying, and you just say, well, actually, in many ways the pressure was off because you've already achieved, and sometimes you drive even better when you're relaxed, when you're a bit more free in the car. And yeah, Alex Albon, I think, has done a great job for the equipment and where they are at the moment, where Williams are. So onwards and upwards, hopefully for them. I think their biggest problem right now is just the sheer weight of the car. They're still over the weight limit, and every kilogram counts in this game.
Charles Leclerc round the final corner, currently leads Lewis Hamilton 6.5 in Grand Prix qualifying, and puts himself to the top of the times with a 1:11.9, just under half a tenth of a second between it. But Lando Norris is flying through the first sector, through the middle sector, fastest of anybody, and now the drag to the line puts himself again about half a tenth of a second between them all. It was less than a tenth between the top four in yesterday's sprint qualifying, and it's looking even closer today, and we're only in Q2. Piastri's flying in the middle sector as well as Ocon gets up into ninth spot. Let's see what this does for the Australian in the McLaren. Oh, a 1:11.8.
Yeah, good luck by Piastri. As soon as you mentioned pretty much the fact that Norris held on to the fastest middle sector, it disappeared in green, and I looked down at our own timing screens, and sure enough, it was Piastri.
Prison pour tentative d'assassination.
Really starting to get into the groove here.
Yeah, McLaren feeling confident over one lap, trying to find that balance though between quali pace and race pace for Sunday. Of course, Parc Fermé opened between the sprint race earlier on today and now, so a lot of changes have been made to the setup of these cars in between now and then. See how much you compromise today for tomorrow or not. As Arvid Lindblad, the British rookie, first time here, crosses the line, puts his racing rules up in 7th ahead of the two Red Bulls.
Yeah, he was there yesterday as well, wasn't he? Just in front of his usual teammate, Liam Lawson. Obviously, Lawson has been promoted, stepped up because of that wrist, that hand injury from Isaac Hadjar, who, by the way, has driven a phenomenal season so far alongside Max Verstappen. So we wish him well, and hopefully he can be back behind the wheel in no time at all. But Lawson stepping in the super sub this weekend, and yeah, usually he is fighting it out with Lindblad in the same team.
Now, Tsunoda is the man that has replaced Lawson in his promotion up to Red Bull, and was very close with his teammate Lindblad in Q1. That time around, not too far away, a couple of tenths, but it's enough to separate them between Q2 and Q3. Tsunoda right on the fringes in 11th, make that 12th, as Gabriel Bortoleto puts in a strong lap in his
Bortoleto, I think, is he's clearly got the speed around this track, and Audi as well. They're definitely one to watch. I feel like Hulkenberg, that side of the garage, were a little bit unlucky yesterday. He needs to pick up the speed a bit here, only down in P14. But the car, like we said before, that midfield battle is super tight.
Yeah, and there is big prize money up for grabs at the end of the season. Really big fight between Racing Bulls and Alpine for 5th spot in the constructors, which is why the likes of Alpine have brought a huge upgrade this weekend. As those first runs come to an end, everybody slowly makes their way back to the pit lane, and we can check in with Bernie.
Yeah, I just wanted to give an update on tyres and on what I think is going to happen going forward. So still good improvement across Q1 to Q2 in terms of lap time and track improvement, something around 5/10 maybe. Now the second run of this Q2 session will have a lot less track improvement than that, 2 or 3/10. But when you look at the lap time set on the board, I think that means that only Antonelli forward would feel uncomfortably safe. Everyone behind that, I think, is definitely not safe and needs to run again. So the question mark will be for Antonelli and those guys. They still have 3 new softs available. They should run one, I think, for a second run in Q2, and that still leaves them 2 new softs for Q3. Definitely Verstappen, I think, needs to get a new set of softs on. I'm surprised that they ran, I think, yesterday that first run. So a lot more to come, another 2 or 3 tenths, I think, at least from each of these drivers out there.
Yeah, thank you, Bernie. As we can hear the cars firing up behind you and heading out into the pit lane, that looks like one of the Red Bulls back out onto the track. I mean, to only be 9th and 10th in these stages. I mean, Verstappen 6th in sprint qualifying yesterday. It's not exactly been hitting the ground like he would have liked it to be post-summer break.
No, the car obviously is committed to the team for another 4 years, but the car just, I don't know, I was expecting a little bit more from them here so far. Maybe they'll prove me right by putting a brand new set of soft tyres on, but so far it looks like they're just the kind of best of the rest. They were at times challenging cars in front of them during the sprint race, but ultimately just lacking the speed when it comes to that one single lap. Here's one to watch though. George Russell, sprint pole yesterday, had a nice relaxing summer break. He's got his head in a better place, he feels, and certainly delivering so far this weekend. What can this guy do though? Championship leader Kimi Antonelli threw the car off yesterday in SQ1 as we talked about, and had to pay the price by sitting there following other cars that he was clearly faster than the entire sprint race. And I think possibly learn a valuable lesson there. Still so young, he's 19 years of age. A valuable lesson just getting through these knockout rounds before SQ3 or Q3 comes your way.
Turns 20 on Tuesday.
Turns 20 on Tuesday. Well, what a birthday present that would be to himself.
No longer a teenager for Kimi Antonelli from next week onwards, but with work to do. There's the projected knockout time, a 1:12.4. Everyone from Lindblad down, because it's but Antonelli's not far away from that either. So he is out on track indeed. All of the top 6 are out on the circuit. We're seeing Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc is also out there. The Ferraris both on used soft tyres for this run. So what can Max Verstappen do here? Surely the Red Bull Verstappen home circuit, they have to get through into Q3, but you never know. Bortoletto's been showing great speed, and the 2 Racing Bulls as well, continuously up there. I feel like Tsunoda is just obviously getting faster and faster every lap he does in that car this weekend, and that car continues to be such a benign race car, user-friendly for the driver. Throw any condition, any track their way, and the car responds nicely. So here's Verstappen, exit of Tarzan, uses all the curbs before chucking the car into turn 2, compromise the exit of that one, and send the car right round the upper wall, effectively, of turn 3. It's such steep banking there. And then the track continues to climb pretty dramatically up and over the crest before Skyflock corner, turn 7, and then back on the power. Then briefly off again before turn 8 comes your way. A super fast right-hander. Bring the car to the right-hand side for turn 8. Use all the track on the exit, and get the car to the right-hand side for turn 10. This is one of the hardest, I'd say the
hardest corner on the track to get right and carry the speed down towards his second straight mode zone before slowing it back down again, throw the car right, then left, wait for it, be patient in the middle of turn 12, get back on the power to the left-hand side of the track before the penultimate corner, last real corner comes your way, kick up the dust on the exit, use all the racetrack, and then take the shortest line you can through that final banked corner, and that is a lap this very tricky racetrack. Good enough for P3 for now in this second round of qualifying.
What about Liam Lawson, though? He's been following through, just catches the Alpine of Gasly right at the flag, pops himself up into 7th. I think lost a bit of time, as you can see, in that final sector. Antonelli completes his lap, pops up inside the top 5. Piastri was fastest of anybody through the first sector. Norris fastest through the middle. Norris to the top, displaces Piastri, but by absolutely nothing, less than a blink of an eye.
I don't think it was an ideal lap for Lando Norris there. He seems to come out of the last corner here where we ride on board with Hulkenberg very close to the Alpine, a bit too close for comfort. Hulkenberg only good enough for P13.
At the moment, his teammate is up inside the top 10. Can he stay there, though? Pierre Gasly is finding time in the upgraded Alpine. Alex Albon is down in 16th, just behind Esteban Ocon. They will have a tough fight today. Bortoletto losing a big chunk of time, though, in that middle sector. Gasly a little off in the middle as well. It'll all then be done in this final sector. Big fight in the mid-pack. Tsunoda pops himself up into 11th, just missing out for the moment, but nothing between himself and Lindblad. Bortoletto up into 9th spot. He does improve. Can Gasly join him, though, and displace Lindblad? No, he can't. Gasly just misses out into 11th. Where does his teammate Franco Colapinto place round the final corner? I feel like he's lost a lot of time. I think he's completely backed off as Colapinto, and he's going to come into the pit lane. Out then of Q2 goes Pierre Gasly. Yuki Tsunoda just misses out, but not by much compared to his teammate Lindblad, who does go through. Hulkenberg 13th. Colapinto takes the flag into the pit lane at 14th, with Ocon and Albon 15th and 16th.
I'm really surprised with Pierre Gasly there, Harry, because we all expected a little bit more. I don't know if anything happened to him on that lap. What are we looking at here with Lewis Hamilton down towards turn 1? Another big smoky lockup, second one of this qualifying session today.
For George Russell, heading down into turn 1, another smoky.
We're lucky.
And rejoins. But that is Q2 done and dusted as we lose Gasly, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Colapinto, Esteban Ocon, and Alex Albon.
Audi sponsors Formula One on Sky Sports.
question is?
Line over the banking, so that was something I picked up on. We've seen other drivers running even higher up that banked corner there. As he came through the high-speed sections, no real obvious mistakes. The car looks pretty decent through this whole part of the lap here. But when we get into the slower parts here at 9, you can see, I think that the tyres are starting to struggle. You can see he's struggling to put the power down, just little corrections, even as he tried to put the power down at 9, and then again at 10, snap of oversteer over the crest, under braking for the chicane at 11 and 12. Turns right, gets in that apex actually pretty well, and then carrying a bit of understeer, has to wait a bit longer than he would have liked for the left-hander 12. Let's get to 13. And it looks like a clean enough run, but just not quick enough. And I think that will be disappointing for them, because he was the best of the rest, shall we say, behind the big four teams in the sprint, finishing in 8th place, picking up that 1 point, but knocked out in Q2 here today. Back up to you guys in front of the box.
Press blue. And their biggest rivals are Racing Bulls. Arvid Lindblad getting through.
We're lucky.
But by the skin of his teeth, less than half a tenth of a second, Arvid Lindblad manages to get through into Q3 at the expense of that man there, Pierre Gasly.
Yeah, it did look like on
And into turn 8, and it's just tiny little bits everywhere, isn't it? That Verstappen is taking out of Liam Lawson. Only 600ths of a second, 6,000ths of a second even in it as they make their way through 9 and 10. Slightly wide on the left-hand side of your screen for Verstappen as he made his way through the apex of 10, and then he's going to be a little deeper down in towards 11, perhaps slightly more accurate. Shimmy on the steering wheel for Liam Lawson, which might delay him to throttle ever so slightly. Now it's Lawson dealing with the traffic ahead. Is that going to turn into a nice little toe? Not really, is it? As he makes his way through the exit of turn 14, and that really, the final section of the lap, where the difference is between them. But you've got to say, that's a reasonably good effort, isn't it, to for Liam Lawson, jumping into that Red Bull this weekend, through to Q3 where he should be.
Great to see the different demands on the drivers side by side and get that analysis. Teammate pairing is going to be crucial. We have a green light at the end of the pit lane. We have Q3 underway. And Mercedes were heading out there nice and early. Verstappen.
Yeah, we have George crying, wait for the pit release, but it's nothing unsafe.
No, nothing much.
Amazing, he's got the time to have a little pop at one of his competitors.
Yeah, we have George crying, wait for the pit release, but it's nothing unsafe.
No, nothing much.
And get close to where Russell has been across the course of the weekend. Russell will be hoping to continue his form. And there are pivotal moments in championship campaigns where the driver that goes on to lift the largest trophy produces their best lap in a weekend where they've been a bit on the back foot. If Kimi Antonelli's to take pole, that would be exactly that type of performance. I think he's trying to generate tyre temperature. It looks like a formation lap on the way down to Tarzan for the driver from Northern Italy.
It is great to see them getting a move on out laps.
Is it still looking to hit?
Yeah, so we expect it to be within the last 5 minutes of the session.
So we want to get our time before the last 5 minutes. You don't want to roll the dice on that one, do you?
Yeah, definitely going to move on then.
Is it still looking to hit?
Yeah, so we expect it to be within the last 5 minutes of the session.
Sprint race, and the dark clouds are gathering, so it could be a one-shot wonder hit. Out, they're still taking the time to do a prep lap to build that extra bit of tyre temp and get it sweet for one lap of attack that could make all the difference.
Driver question for you both. Does that change your approach consciously, or do you drive it like you would any other lap? You've gone from 2 runs down to 1 potentially with that information.
Yeah, you get on with it. I guess you subconsciously know you have a second run under normal conditions. You still try and give it everything in the first run because there can be incidents, yellow flags, something could put oil on the track. But now it is absolutely get on with it, and this could be the lap.
You know you need to get something on the board. You know that it's sometimes the sort of extra little bit of risk that you can take thinking it's a banker, but you've got another chance to put one in. Now you know this one has to count.
Well, in the battle of the out laps, in prep laps, Verstappen, you can see, is a couple of seconds quicker than what Antonelli and Russell have done in their out lap. So putting more energy into the tyres.
Yeah, feeling the need to generate that tyre temperature by running slightly quicker. It's fascinating the differences between the teams. This is a glorious flowing racetrack. When there's minimal fuel in the car, you're looking for the driver on pole position to be neat and tidy and taking it to the extremity. It's something we've seen since Kimi Antonelli's first ever run in a Formula One car, slightly twitchy on the exit of 10.
Yeah, was he a bit wide in 9?
It's a big lap from Norris, by the way. 11.3 that's come in as the benchmark. So that's what they're all aiming for as Antonelli comes towards the Mercedes. Strong suit, the final turn and beyond.
Piastri into second position. 0.2 of a second away. Antonelli had the fastest first sector. Improvement in the middle. Add it all up, and he's 0.3 of a second away with the rain closing in. Antonelli without the searing pace we've been used to. Verstappen into 4th. Can Russell continue that feeling at the front? No, he can't get past. He can't get past Lando Norris, who remains at the top of the pile. Verstappen ahead of Lawson now. What can the Ferraris do? This is Charles Leclerc through the bank, final turn of the racetrack, and he comes to the line and he's 4th behind Norris, behind Russell, behind Piastri. Arvid Lindblad is out there and he is fighting up against Lawson, up against Bortoleto, and let's see where he can go. And he manages to get into 8th position. Hamilton will close things out then. Hamilton running last of the drivers. You can see you've got the McLarens who have already posted their lap time nearly a full lap ahead as Hamilton comes across the line, and Hamilton puts it only P8. Disappointment for the 7-time champ. He finds himself behind the Red Bulls, and Norris getting that banker lap down. We're just slow. P1 with 7 minutes to go. Norris saying after the sprint that he didn't have the pace, and he is currently 1.5 tenths ahead of the man that won the sprint.
They've thrown us all a dummy. Maybe they're getting a hand in for Vegas, where you've got to play your poker face.
He's got a good one now, hasn't he? He developed it over time. McLaren love to play down their chances. They've done it even when they've been waltzing away with the title. But they clearly have a good car here. Piastri then 2 tenths away from Norris, who found something magical with that lap. We didn't really see it, but it was clean across the board. The fastest middle sector, as is usual for the McLarens here. And look at that, 3 tenths quicker than Russell, who didn't find a huge amount of magic back on the McLaren at the end of the lap, which is where they've been a little bit stronger than that recently, the Mercedes.
It's so interesting just looking at the comparison. Strong lap from Lawson, you have to say, to be within a couple of tenths of Verstappen. And the question now is, how long do they sit it out, or wait, or get out there and get this banker lap? Is that rain on the horizon?
It's not landed yet. Everyone's still out there with the t-shirts on. No sign of the ponchos going on. The wind is whipping, so it'll come in quickly. 1 minute away, but it's time to send the cars. Put some fuel in, and off you go again. And I agree, that's a great lap from Lawson. Half a second of pole, 10th and a little bit away from Verstappen, but also just a 10th away from Charles Leclerc and a place on the second row.
That the Mercedes not wanting to wait. George Russell passing as he can. They've gone past the end of the pit lane.
Yeah, the McLarens will want to back everyone up as well, especially Lando Norris, who's on provisional pole. He doesn't want to give George Russell an extra shot to go and take that away from him.
Yeah, if it's 1 minute for rain, there is no build lap. There is hit it. Oh, and you can see some of the moisture on the camera. And this McLaren is not wanting to play ball. Norris has got control of this lap.
Well, he is allowed to do that. He is the driver in the way on the same type of lap as Russell, and he's the one currently on provisional pole.
Antonelli's just ahead of him on the track, by the way. We're watching Norris and Russell do battle on an outlap. Hamilton may well miss that by being the last out on the first run. He's, in turn, the last out on the second run with the rain starting to fall. I tell you, it's not falling hard at all. There's a chance that Antonelli will start this lap and be able to put one in.
Yeah, there is mass movement in the grandstand directly opposite our commentary box. So the crowd are reacting.
Umbrellas are going up, ponchos are going on. Antonelli's going to the first turn of the racetrack. Is there enough grip for any improvement? It won't be long to find out. Mini sectors, yeah, decent for Antonelli, and we know he's good in that first sector. So does he have enough time? Does he have enough time? Does he have about 70 seconds to try and deliver it? Lando Norris going as well. It's going to impact those further back in the queue. It is coming down imminently with pole position for the Dutch Grand Prix on the line.
Yeah, temperature's dropping as well, and they've not had the luxury of their build lap. So if you've got to do it, you've got to do it straight away.
Russell's first sector is absolutely mighty. George Russell, oh, he's going all in, fighting the car as he gets to the slower stuff. The rain falling all the while. Norris currently on provisional pole. Russell wringing the neck of that Mercedes as it stands. Right, over the line we go then. Norris is improving in the middle sector. They are finding time. They are finding grip. The rain is coming down. Bortoleto goes to P8 ahead of Lewis Hamilton and Lindblad. And in the battle for pole position, Antonelli gets there. Kimi Antonelli finds his way to the front with an amazing lap. Taken away by Lando Norris over to George Russell. He can't get back there, but he will get ahead of his teammate. What a lap when it counted. They did find the time and the grip. Piastri, P4, only a tenth and a half away, but he's P4. And they did find enough time with the rain coming down. Verstappen now into 5th place to demote Charles Leclerc. Lawson is into 7th, and how about that against all expectations at the end? Norris fighting back after Antonelli had taken provisional pole, and then it was the world champion, and then Russell couldn't get on terms. Let's conclude the story then with Arvid Lindblad, who crosses the line, and he remains in 10th position. Lando Norris throwing the Formula One community a curveball. He finds himself at the front. If it stays dry, could the door yet open for Charles Leclerc?
It's not done. It's not done. The Ferraris both did a prep lap, so they did what everyone wanted to do in the first place, and they assume the rain's not going to come down. And you know what? It doesn't look like it is coming down right now as Leclerc leans on it through the real fast off in the middle sector. It's not a bad lap so far for Leclerc, and Hamilton just starts one now.
Couple of tenths adrift. Couple of tenths adrift, DC, in the first sector for Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, but that has shown that it's not the be-all and end-all. He's improving overall on the lap, so he looks like he'll go ahead of Verstappen's time if you can see out the lap.
Hamilton's first sector, 0.2 of a second away. Wonder what he can do in the middle part of the lap. Well, what an unusual end to qualifying it has been as the Ferrari comes over the line and Charles Leclerc gets back past Max Verstappen, and now Lewis Hamilton, who is asking the team to check the car. This has been beautifully fragmented in a scurry for McLaren to get out there, for Mercedes to get out there, Ferrari doing something different. That is what a lack of grip looks like for Lewis Hamilton. The rear end stepping out as he comes round. He's going to be aiming for his teammate. Can he fire it further up? Lewis Hamilton to the line. Lewis Hamilton ahead of his teammate with a great lap at the end to rescue a qualifying session that had looked oh so difficult until that point. And after all of that, Lando Norris found a response to the Mercedes, and Lando Norris is on pole for the Dutch Grand Prix.
Okay, that was pole. Best lap of my life.
Best lap of his life. Well, when the car's that slow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that was pole. Best lap of my life.
And summer break. hasn't lost any speed.
And you know what? I think what's so impressive there is when you're on provisional pole, you see spots of rain on your visor, and you think, no, just let this dump it down, and we'll all go home and call it a night. And to then have the determination to dig in when you think, is the track even where it is? Do I take the risk into the first corners and feel it? He had to do that, and he has obviously put in another beauty of a lap. Had to find it. If he didn't improve, I think he was going to end up being fourth there. So he's gone out there, and he's delivered once again.
Brilliant lap, and given himself a really good fighting chance for tomorrow. We know that they struggled a bit in the sprint over only 24 laps. Let's see how they manage over a Grand Prix.
Well, what an opportunity for Lando Norris, who's taken pole position once again, the 18th of his Formula One career. Both of the Mercedes drivers bemoaning mistakes on that lap. Ordinary middle sector for Kimi Antonelli. George Russell said he lost it at the 12-11 chicane. I think they both believe there was time in there for pole position. But once again, really tight margins between the top four. 10th and a half. 900ths yesterday, 10th and a half today. And Lando Norris will be hoping that McLaren have found some answers. But that cheeky grin, I think, says it all.
They've just been holding back, haven't they? Yeah, you're absolutely right. He can't hide it. The mischief in his face. What a great lap.
That's a really big performance. He loves this track as well. He's had good success here in the past. And from the front of the race, assuming he can keep the lead at the start, you can control it as well. So if they have a weakness in preserving the tyres, they can run according to Lando's pace. We saw it was difficult to overtake, so he's just given himself a great shot at holding on for a Grand Prix win and taking the fight to Kimi and George.
Well, Lando Norris just composing himself. He'll be speaking down in Parc Fermé in a few moments' time. George Russell finds himself in second position. Kimi Antonelli in third, then Piastri, Hamilton, Leclerc, Verstappen, Lawson, and then Bortoleto